What if the most powerful bunker in the world was never protected by the mountain above it, but by the belief that nobody could ever reach it? For years, one underground facility in Iran represented a simple idea: go deeper, build stronger, hide longer. If enough rock stood between a target and an attacker, perhaps the target could survive anything modern warfare could throw at it. But then a weapon appeared that was designed around a different question: not how big can an explosion become, but how deep can destruction travel? And that question created one of the most unusual weapons ever built: the G-Buffet Massive Ordnance Penetrator, a weapon created for a battlefield where the enemy was not standing in front of you. The enemy was underground, on satellite images. Fordo does not look like one of the most important military locations on Earth. There is no giant runway, no fleet of armored vehicles, no obvious sign of a major strategic confrontation. Just mountains, roads, concrete, a landscape that appears quiet. But beneath that mountain is the reason this location became one of the most difficult strategic problems of the modern era. Fordo was built as a hidden nuclear enrichment facility, not hidden behind walls, hidden behind geology itself. The mountain was the defense. The distance underground was the armor. The silence above was part of the strategy. And this created the first contradiction. A fortress can protect something by making it harder to find. But once the world knows where the fortress is, the same protection can become a challenge. The mountain stops being invisible. It becomes a problem to solve. The story of Fordo begins with a larger struggle over Iran's nuclear program. For decades, nuclear technology represented two very different possibilities. To Iran, it represented scientific progress, energy independence, and national capability. To its opponents, it represented the possibility that Iran could eventually develop the ability to create nuclear weapons. The disagreement was not only about machines, it was about future power. Because uranium enrichment is not just a technical process. It is a strategic threshold. The closer a country moves toward advanced enrichment capability, the more difficult the international calculation becomes. Diplomacy, sanctions, inspections, pressure. Every tool was used because the world was trying to answer one question: could Iran's nuclear program be controlled without war? Then intelligence agencies discovered something that changed the equation. A facility buried inside a mountain near the city of Qom. The first images did not reveal the full story. They revealed clues, construction patterns, road development, changes in the terrain. Small details that suggested something larger existed below. And that was the beginning of a different kind of warfare. Not missiles, not aircraft. Information. Because before any weapon could strike Fordo, someone had to understand it. Where were the tunnels? How deep were they? Where were the entrances? Where did power enter? Where did ventilation systems connect the underground world to the surface? The part most people miss is that underground facilities are not defeated from the outside first. They are understood from the outside first. Every bunker has a relationship with the world above it. Workers need access, machines need electricity, air must move, equipment must arrive. A mountain can hide a facility, but it cannot allow that facility to exist without leaving traces. And those traces became the battlefield. Fordo was designed around a powerful assumption that existing weapons were not enough. And for a long time, that assumption was correct. Traditional bunker, busting weapons were built to destroy hardened military structures, command centers, storage facilities, underground shelters. But Fordo represented something different. This was not simply a concrete building underground. It was a precision industrial facility protected by layers of rock. The problem was not creating an explosion. The problem was delivering that explosion at the exact place where it mattered. A weapon that detonates too early fails. A weapon that breaks apart on impact fails. A weapon that reaches the wrong location fails. The mountain does not need to stop the attacker completely. It only needs to make the attack uncertain. And uncertainty is one of the strongest defenses in modern warfare. That challenge produced a weapon unlike almost anything before it. The GBU-FE Massive Ordnance Penetrator. From the outside, it looks almost simple. A massive steel body, a huge explosive charge. A weapon built around weight and force. But the real technology is hidden inside the idea. The bomb is not designed to explode immediately. It is designed to survive. It falls toward the earth, carrying enormous energy. It strikes rock and concrete. It pushes deeper, and only after penetrating the surface does it release its destructive power. The weapon is not trying to defeat the mountain from above. It is trying to turn the mountain itself into part of the explosion. That changes everything. Because the battle is no longer about surface destruction. It is about what happens after the weapon disappears underground. But here is the problem. A powerful weapon is not automatically a powerful strategy. The GBU-FE alone cannot solve the Fordo problem, because the weapon is only one part of a much larger system. A target this difficult requires intelligence to locate weaknesses, aircraft capable of delivering the weapon, refueling networks that extend range, stealth technology that reduces detection, command systems that coordinate timing, political decisions that determine when and why force is used. The bomb is visible. The system behind the bomb is not. And that hidden system may be the real weapon. This is why the GBU-FE became more than a bomb. It became a symbol of a larger competition. One side invested in making something unreachable. The other side invested in proving that unreachable does not mean impossible. The question was not whether America had a large enough bomb. The question was whether years of intelligence, engineering, and preparation could overcome a fortress designed around patience. Because Fordo was not built only to stop an attack. It was built to change the attacker's calculation. If attacking becomes too difficult, too risky, or too uncertain, then the mountain has already achieved its purpose. That is the hidden power of hardened facilities. They do not need to guarantee survival. They only need to create hesitation. And then the battlefield changed. For more than a decade, Fordo existed as a strategic mystery. A location everyone knew about, but a problem nobody had a simple answer for. The world saw a mountain. Military planners saw a network of vulnerabilities. The public saw a bomb. Strategists saw a question: can technology overcome geography? Because the next chapter would reveal that the real contest was never only between a weapon and a bunker. It was between two ideas: the belief that hiding creates security, and the belief that enough information can eventually expose anything. Everyone thinks this battle is about a massive bomb destroying a mountain. But the real battle is about something far more important: control of information, control of time, control of the decisions made before the first weapon ever leaves an aircraft. Because the GBU-FE was never simply a weapon designed to create a larger explosion. It was designed to change the strategic calculation of an opponent. And that is where the story moves from the visible battlefield to the hidden one. The mountain was only the surface. The real battlefield existed in intelligence centers, engineering laboratories, satellite networks, and political rooms thousands of miles away. The question was no longer, can a bunker survive a strike? The real question became, can a nation still feel protected when another nation understands exactly how that bunker works? The biggest misunderstanding about bunker warfare is that people imagine it as a contest between explosives and concrete. But modern underground warfare is not decided only by what happens when a bomb hits. It is decided years before: a satellite image, a construction pattern, a change in activity around a tunnel entrance, a new ventilation structure, a transportation route. Small details become strategic clues. The part most people miss is that a hidden facility creates a massive amount of information. Because the deeper something is buried, the more carefully it must connect to the surface. And every connection creates a weakness. Every weakness creates a question. Every question creates a mission. The weapon may arrive in seconds, but the search for the target can last decades. This is the first major lesson of the G-Buffet. The weapon itself is only the final step. The real capability comes from the systems surrounding it. A stealth bomber without intelligence is just an aircraft. A bunker penetrator without accurate targeting is just expensive metal. A military force without political decision making is only potential power. The United States did not create the G-Buffet because a large bomb was needed. It created it because a new type of strategic problem appeared, a target that could not be easily destroyed, a target designed specifically to survive the advantages of modern air power. The solution required more than engineering, but this creates a deeper contradiction. If technology can eventually reach even the strongest underground facilities, does that make the world safer? Not necessarily, because military success and political success are not the same thing. A weapon can damage infrastructure. It can delay a program. It can force a government to reconsider its choices, but it cannot destroy knowledge. It cannot erase scientists. It cannot remove industrial capability. It cannot eliminate the political reasons a country wanted protection in the first place. The real issue is that strategic programs are not buildings. They are networks. A facility is only one piece. The people, the research, the supply chains, the manufacturing ability, the national strategy. All of these exist beyond one location. And that changes the meaning of a strike. A successful attack may create time, but time is not the same as resolution. This is where the energy and geopolitical dimension becomes impossible to ignore. A mountain in Iran may seem like a local military issue, but nuclear tensions do not remain local. The Middle East sits at the center of global energy markets. A crisis involving Iran affects shipping routes, oil prices, alliances, and international security calculations. A decision made inside a military command room can influence economies on the other side of the planet. That is why strategic warfare is never only about the battlefield. The explosion the consequences move everywhere. A missile can destroy a target, but the political reaction can reshape entire regions. The G-Buffet also reveals something important about modern deterrence. For decades, nations relied on geography for protection, mountains, oceans, distance, isolation. But advanced technology is reducing the value of distance. Satellites can watch. Stealth aircraft can travel farther. Precision weapons can reach deeper. Data can reveal what once remained hidden. The world is becoming harder to hide in. But here is the contradiction. As hiding becomes more difficult, the desire to hide may become stronger. A country that believes its defenses can be defeated may not become less interested in security. It may seek even stronger forms of protection, more secrecy, more underground facilities, more dispersion, more uncertainty. The technology designed to remove one threat may create new strategic pressure. This is why the G-Buffet matters beyond one facility. It represents a constant cycle in military history. Every defense creates a new attack strategy. Every attack strategy creates a new defense. Castles created walls. Cannons defeated walls. Battleships created naval dominance. Aircraft carriers changed naval warfare. Stealth aircraft challenged traditional air defenses. Underground facilities challenged precision weapons. Now precision weapons are challenging underground facilities. The competition never ends. It evolves, the battlefield moves, sometimes into the sky, sometimes under the earth, sometimes into the invisible world of information. The most important image from this story is not the bomb falling. It is everything that happened before. A room filled with analysts studying years of satellite images. Engineers testing materials against simulated underground structures. Pilots training for missions that may never happen. Commanders weighing consequences where every option carries risk. Scientists calculating how pressure waves move through rock. That is the hidden battlefield. The weapon is only the final visible moment of a much larger struggle. And this reveals the deeper truth about modern warfare. The strongest military advantage is not always the weapon with the greatest destructive power. It is the ability to connect knowledge, technology, industry, and strategy into one system. But there is another lesson, one that is more uncomfortable. A mountain can be penetrated, a facility can be damaged, a weapon can create pressure, but no military operation can guarantee the future, because the final battlefield is always human decision-making. Leaders decide whether to escalate or negotiate. Countries decide whether to rebuild or change direction. Rivals decide whether strength creates caution or creates a new arms race. The physical battle ends. The strategic battle continues. For years, Fordo represented an idea that enough depth could create safety. The GBU challenged that idea. It showed that even the strongest defenses have limits, but it also revealed another reality. No weapon creates a permanent solution. Every victory creates new calculations. Every breakthrough creates new vulnerabilities. Every advantage creates a new race. That is the nature of modern warfare. The goal is not simply to destroy an enemy's weapons. The goal is to understand the system behind them, because the next conflict may not be decided by who has the biggest bomb. It may be decided by who understands the battlefield before anyone else realizes it exists. The question is no longer whether a mountain can protect a secret. The real question is whether any nation can build a fortress faster than technology can learn how to defeat it. Do you believe future wars will be won by stronger weapons or by the countries that understand information, technology, and strategy better than their opponents?